In today's video, we're playing Yu-Gi-Oh! World Championship over the Nexus, but there's a challenge. I'm going to try to beat all of the signers while playing Light and Darkness Ritual, and your first thought might probably be, how? Unfortunately, I don't have the skill or talent to put those cards into the game, but we'll be playing with the old versions of the cards today. As for deck building, I've established 3 rules. I'll be playing every card that's represented in the actual roulette deck, with the exception of Black Skull Dragon, because to play that, we'd need to play Red Eyes and Polymerization, and the deck is already a bit of a mess. 2, at least 60% of the deck must be Light and Darkness Ritual cards. I really want Magician of Black Chaos and BLS to hit the field and be the win condition of the deck as much as possible. And since we're running 40 cards, that means at least 24 must be roulette based. And 3, no floodgates. You can do the Jin lock in this game as releaser is legal, but I thought that would kind of be boring, so we're not running that, although I did choose to run some Jin cards as they make it a lot easier to summon the ritual monsters, but not the ones with floodgate effects. But now we'll switch over to the deck profile. Just going through the deck list quickly, we have 3 Celtic Guardian, 1 Griffor, 1 Summon Skull, 2 Jin Presider of Rituals. You can use it as material for ritual summon by banishing it from the graveyard, and if the monster you ritual summon destroys an opponent's monster by battle, you get to draw a card. It also has pretty decent stats as well. 1 Krebons, 3 Karibo, 3 Manju of the 10,000 Hands for consistency, 1 Mist Valley Soldier, 3 BLS, and 2 Magician of Black Chaos. I chose to prioritize BLS over Magician of Black Chaos because it has more attack. We're playing 2 of each ritual spell, 3 copies of Mystic Box. You destroy a monster your opponent controls, and then you give them one of your monsters. This will be our main removal piece, 2 MST for removal, 1 Smashing Ground, 1 Spell Shattering Arrow, 2 Bottomless Trap Hole, 1 Call of the Haunted, 1 Dimensional Prison, 3 Magical Hats as kind of our battle phase protection trap, then 1 Mirror Force, and 1 Starlight Road. For the extra deck, 1 Black Rose, 1 Brionic, 1 Formula Synchron, 1 Goyo Guardian, 3 RDA, 2 Scrap Dragon, 3 Stardust, and 3 Thought Ruler Archfiend. To find Leo and Luna on the map, you want to go to the fountain area, and then if you go all the way down and to the right, into Team 5D's garage, they'll both be there along with Bruno. And our first duel is going to be up against Leo. The duel against Leo ended up being the one with the most grind game. I won't commentate over the whole thing, but I'll interject when I think it's necessary. We did open pretty strong, I'd say. The Krebons can stop the attack, we drew some decent traps, and we got one of the rituals, so I think we opened pretty well. Main phase 2 of this turn, we end up going for the Goyo Guardian, which kind of ends up being one of the more important cards throughout this playthrough, as we'll see. Leo ends up going for the power tool here, but we are pretty well prepared for it. We have it covered with the bottomless trap hole. But of course the search still resolves. This part does get a little scary. Mage Power plus United We Stand plus Power Pickaxe. And here I made a pretty dumb play. I used the magical hats to protect the monster, but he can just redirect the attack at Goyo. So big misplay there. The Mirror Force comes up clutch here. We would have lost the duel that turn or the following turn, so I think I held it for the right moment. And then we drew the BLS, meaning we could use that BLS to summon the other one. And then this is the part of the duel that gets a bit ridiculous. Leo activates Morphtronic Bind, which is pretty similar to Gravity Bind, but it's for Morphtronics. This does happen a lot in this game, where the CPU can almost set up some sort of floodgate, and then if you just don't draw the out, you're kind of just going back and forth struggling. But here, perfect draw. We draw into the Manju, so we can search a Magician of Black Chaos, and then use it as the tribute for the ritual summon. I used the MST to hit the rightmost spell and trap because the other one's been on the field for a while. He didn't activate it, and then we ended up winning the game with the Magician of Black Chaos. As you can see, the name of Luna's deck is Inverse Order, and that's because she plays a reverse burn deck. We actually had a pretty decent opening in this duel. I would have preferred more trap cards, but we did get to summon the BLS on the first turn. Off the Mystic Tomato, she gets the Nurse, and then she activates Gift, and I take 3,000. So this is kind of the goal of the strategy over time. We're still in a pretty good position here. The BLS can destroy anything she summons, but now she does have the trap off the Gold Sark, and she plays the Upstart, which we take 1,000 for. She goes to run over the set card. We do use the magical hats, but unfortunately she does still manage to hit the Kuriboh. Then main phase 2, Ancient Fairy Dragon with a pretty cool animation. 3k defense is able to wall us out, which is a bit of a problem. And we do have the Mystic Box, but there's no point destroying the Ancient Fairy to give her BLS. But here we go Mystic Box on the Ancient Fairy, giving her the Celtic Guardian, and then we can run over the set card with BLS. She uses Soul Taker to get rid of the BLS and burn us for 1,000. And then I go for the Summon Skull, which has a pretty cool animation as well. And then here is where I forgot about the Honest. So she uses the Kuriboh effect and the Honest. We take that damage, and we get burned from the continuous trap. And from here, if she just has a monster, we lose. Then she has the Shining Angel, and we take the L in the second duel, and our record at this point is 1-1. Next up is Akiza. To get to Akiza on the world map, you'll want to go to the Outer Rim, where she's standing there with Trudge. Pretty strong opening here. We have removal, we can summon the BLS, and we have the tuner and Krebon, so pretty good opening hand. So as you can see, she's playing the Naturia engine with Naturia Cherry, and a little later, you'll see a card that was actually banned fairly recently. Right there, she drops the Naturia Rose Whip, the floodgate that was recently banned because of Cool Tune. And she's able to go into Colossal Fighter. This I was a little nervous about because it can keep recurring itself, but we do have that Mirror Force, which is really nice to just get rid of it there. Up to this point, pretty competitive, a bit of a stalemate. I did feel like I had the advantage with the Krebons, and the Smash and Ground in hand, but as we'll see, things do kind of go south. I ended up being pretty surprised about how useful the magical hats was throughout the duels, but of course it's a battle phase trap in an era where those are pretty strong, so of course it did come in handy. Once again, we make the Goya Guardian. Destroying the Giga Plant and bringing it to our field. And that was pretty important. If she can revive the Giga Plant and then normal summon it, it'll get its effect. But she does have the Dark Hole. I'm getting rid of our entire board there, so... we do draw it into the Manju to kind of fight back, and that gets us access to the Ritual spell. We destroy the Dandelion, and she gets the tokens, being able to wall up just a little bit more, but now she does also have bodies on board for a tribute. And then from this point, I think I'm in a commanding position, because she gets the top deck. We have removal with the Mystic Box, as long as the Mist Valley Soldier stays on the field, and we're one card away from being able to summon Magician of Chaos. But she draws into the Miracle Fertilizer, bringing back the Gigaplant, and then the Gigaplant unfortunately swings over the Mist Valley Soldier. Yeah, Bottomless isn't a very good draw there, so you have to pass over to her. And then even worse, the MST just pops the Bottomless. Then she normal summons Gigaplant. Gigaplant summons Titanial from the hand, and then she swings in directly. So at this point, we need a really good top deck, and we draw into Magical Hats, which can't do anything because we don't have any monsters on board. Interesting that the computer doesn't immediately go to battle phase and attack. I think it was kind of funny that she overkilled still going into the Black Rose Dragon. But after this duel, our record is 1 win and 2 losses against the Signers. So at this point, we're going to duel Crow, and to get to Crow, you want to go to the stadium. The duel against Crow ends up being pretty short, and you're about to see why. There is one moment here where you could argue I misplayed. When he attacks on his first turn, I choose not to use the Dimensional Fissure. My thought process was that on a later turn, I'd get the opportunity to use that on a Synchro monster, and I'd get more value out of it. This duel does not end up being that many turns, as we'll see very soon. But generally, I do consider Crow one of the better duelists in the game. He's one of the few playing an actual archetype that's structured really well, And also, I didn't open the best hand. I used the Smashing Ground to get rid of one of the black wings. He replies with Book of Moon to flip Shura, so it destroys Bore the Spear. And then I summon the Kuriboh and use the Mystic Box to get rid of the other one. And then from here, I kind of just hope and pray that I draw the Ritual Spell or Manju on the following turn, but there will not be a following turn actually, as you'll see here. He summons the Blizzard from the hand, the Blizzard gets him one from the grave, and he gets back to Bore the Spear. Then he Synchro Summons the Armed Wing, and then kind of surprisingly he drops Dark Armed Dragon. He uses Dark Armed Dragon, banishing the Shura to pop the face down. And from there, the game is over. I probably also could have held that Kuriboh maybe, not have been so greedy with the Mystic Box play. Yeah, this one was pretty quick and easy for the CPU. After Crow makes pretty quick work of us, we go on to the duel against Jack. Jack does win Rock, Paper, Scissors, so we do have to go second here, but we draw a pretty decent hand. A little surprised to see the Deep Sea Diva in his deck, but he's kind of walling out here with the Swords of Revealing Light. I do opt to pop it with the MST. Probably should have held it for the Torrential, actually, because he gets rid of our level 4 and our Krebons, but it's not too bad, as we kind of want Presider in the graveyard. We draw for turn into another Presider, which isn't great, but we can at least get over the Mist Valley monster. The worst case scenario, if it gets destroyed, we can still banish it from the grave, and then we would get 2 draws if we made a ritual monster and it destroyed an opponent's monster. Jack synchro summons into Exploder Dragonwing, and we kind of don't have an answer for this. And then this next draw is super important for us, and we end up drawing into Starlight Road. I was probably a little too impatient in this game, popping the swords with the MST. Probably would have been better to just wait the 3 turns, and then use the MST later. After the duel at Jack, our record is 1-4, so hopefully we can redeem it a little bit with the final duel against Yusei. Solid opening with the Krebons called Haunted and Karibo, and we drew Magician of Black Chaos with its ritual spell, so a decent start. This duel ends up being pretty straightforward. We go into the Goyo Guardian, and we're able to get over the tuner. Goyo brings it back to our field. And then we use Call the Haunted later to bring back the Griffor, and then we can use the Griffor and Tuner to go into Stardust. And it gets the boost from the Tuner until the end phase, but its effect is temporarily negated. This duel ends up being surprisingly dominant. We draw into the Celtic Guardian so we can use the Ritual spell to bring out the Magician of Black Chaos. And from there, we just have 3 huge bodies on the board and are able to close out the duel. And so our final record against the Signers is 2-4. That is the video. If you enjoyed it, leave a like, and consider subscribing to the channel. If you would like to see more gameplay on this game, or maybe Reverse of Arcadia, or even Master Duel, let me know in the comments below, and hopefully I'll see you in the next one.